Hello and welcome to Callum Connect's Micro Podcast. Our guest today is John Duschinsky. John is internationally known as a global strategist and speaker who has worked with leaders in more than 60 countries, from prime ministers to Fortune 500 executives.
I think the habit that's been most critical to my success is something I call a CPR, which stands for Context, Purpose and Results. It's a simple tool, but it anchors me in that highest value path that I spoke about earlier, and it helps me stand in success before I even begin. Now, you can write a CPR for almost anything. You can write it for a meeting, a presentation, a quarter goal, but let me take a meeting as an example. Most people prepare for a meeting by writing an agenda. My suggestion is you write a CPR instead. Now, start with the results. Imagine by standing in success that the meeting has already happened and that it went really brilliantly. It could not have gone better. Stand in the success that you are at the end of that meeting and write down in the past tense what made it so successful. What happened in that meeting such that it was such a success? No more than 3 to 5 results. And then move on to the purpose. Why are you having this meeting? Not just because it's Monday and we always meet on Mondays, but what's the deeper reason? Why does it matter that these people who are going to come together for this meeting come together right now to meet? Why are you in that space together? Get really clear on that. And then finally, context. The context is about how we need to show up in order to achieve those results. If the purpose of the meeting is for us to workshop new ways of being able to build revenues, well then a context is curious, open, imaginative, ready to build and improvise. You want people showing up in that space. Or maybe it's about going through a budget and being laser focused and very tactical. So naming the context, how you want people to show up, will set the tone for how everybody engages, and it'll make sure that people are coming into the room with the right mindset to achieve those results. So instead of sending an agenda that says, hey, we're going to talk about this, this, and this, you can share a CPR that says, here's what success looks like for our time together. Here's why it matters, and here's how we all need to show up to make that happen. Now, I use CPRs for lots of things, not just meetings. I have a CPR for every day. I have a CPR, of course, for every meeting that I do, but I have a weekly CPR, a quarterly CPR. I write a CPR with my wife for our vacations. I have one for date nights, because those are important too, and how I show up on vacation or how I show up on a date night is going to be determinant in how successful it is. The CPR has become a habit. It's become a really powerful tool to help me stay intentional and to stay out of my operating system, no matter what the circumstances are.
If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to find more inspiring information about leaders and entrepreneurs around the world doing incredible things, make your way to enterprisezone.cc.